Hi guys, today we are going to try and make some Numberblock soap, and what I have in this recipe is marshmallow fluff, which is like a sandwich spread, some corn flour, I think they call this cornstarch in America, and also some hand soap. And this recipe is from Cute Life Hacks, and I'll put the link to her video underneath in the description box. And you also need some food colouring. I have red and I also have black, because we're going to make Numberblock 1. I've also got a spoon and a bowl. So this should be quite a simple recipe, so I hope it works out. Okay, so I'm going to start this recipe. I'm going to use a large tablespoon. I've got my little assistant in the background. You might be able to hear him. So I'm going to do a large tablespoon in here like this. It's so sticky. It's really sticky. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to use my finger for this, but it's very sticky. I'm going to do 2 actually, because I want to make quite a big sized number block. So I've got 2 tablespoons of the fluff, which is so sticky. I haven't eaten this stuff for so long. I think I had it when I was a kid, but I haven't really looked out for it. Okay, I'll lick my finger actually. That's sugary. Then I'm using this hand wash. You can use any hand wash you like. So I'm going to do double, so I'm going to do 4 of these. 1, 2, I think it's 4 anyway, 3. So you can use any hand wash. You could use one with a different fragrance that you really like. The simple one isn't really fragrance, but that's fine. Let's mix this in. It is super sticky right now. So I'm going to split a little bit this off, because I know I need some black for the eyeball of number 1. So I'm going to do a little scoop, not too much, just a little bit here, which I'm going to add black to. So I figured it's probably better to add it when it's in this form, and I'm going to leave a bit that's just going to be white on its own here. So this is my little bit of, I only need a small amount of just white. And then I'm going to separate a little bit more off, because I think we need a bit which is sort of the dark red. Hopefully that's enough. So now I'm going to mix up the colours. So this is red food colouring. I don't know how much I need to add. I've not done this before, but I'm going to start with a splash. So this will be for the red, which is the body. Oh, it's really red. Oh my goodness, right. This will be for the body. Like this. So hopefully it will not be as lumpy once we mix it with our hands. Like this. And then we have a bit for the dark red. So I'm going to do a splash, a tiny splash of red. That wasn't tiny. A splash of red and a bit of the black. Okay. So a few drops of the black, so it's a dark red. And then I need a bit which is just black on its own for the eyeball. And then this one is going to stay white. I think I need some different spoons. So the next bit to make this into clay is to add corn flour, or it can be called cornstarch depending where you live. So, and then it should turn into a crumbly texture. Now I don't think that Cute Life Hacks, I don't think that she has a specific measurement for the cornstarch. I think she said just add it and see how the texture changes. So it should turn into sort of like, well, a bit sort of dry and easy to hold. So we're going to need more than that corn flour wise. I hope it stays looking red, because if it doesn't, we're going to have to add more food colouring in. More corn flour. Make sure you ask permission before you use the corn flour. Don't use it all up and then your mum or dad need it for something. I'm going to add a little bit more food colouring, because I think it looks more pink than red now. So So it's finally started to get thicker, which is what we want. It starts to look quite crumbly when it's the right texture. So let's keep going. This takes a lot of flour. So make sure you've got a full tub of corn flour. You don't want to run out halfway through. So then at some point it starts to get quite difficult to stir. So I think that's, oh no, it's still quite sticky. Let me add some more flour, because at some point you have to get your hand in there and get it mixing rather than using the spoon, because it'll be too difficult to do. I might, you know what, I might just do it anyway. I think it'll be a bit easier than using the spoon. Okay. I hope this works. I'm getting a little bit worried. So if I've done this right, it should end up looking like a little ball of almost like Play-Doh, like plasticine, or a dough that you might roll into to make bread. But it's still quite sticky at the moment, so I'm guessing it still needs more of the corn flour, because we doubled up the quantities. So okay guys, so in the end I've ended up with this kind of shape. I've started to fold it into a cube. It's not super smooth, you can still see it's a little bit crackly, but you know what, it'll be okay because it's dry now and we're just going to wash our hands with it anyway since it's soap. So I've done it into a cube shape like this, kind of. So yeah, that was a tricky one. That was quite tricky to mix because it feels too sloppy and wet, and then when you put too much corn flour in it, it gets really dry and crackly. So but there you go, we'll use that for now. And then I kind of destroyed my white in the process because I got some of the white. See, the red bits in it, whoops. This is supposed to be my black. So hopefully I've got enough fluff in here. Oh, tell you what, I should mix some white up first for the eye. Okay, this is the ball of white, which is actually, I think it looks okay. So I'm going to stick this onto the plate with the red, like this. So that will be ready for later. And I'm going to make up the black and the dark red. Oh my gosh guys, that was so much more messy than I thought it would be. So now let's try and make number block 1 out of the bits of clay that we've made. I'm sure I will get better at making it once I've had some more practice. Just a little bit, I think. So I'm going to try and make number block 1. So I've got the cube down already. Because you're adding corn flour to this, it's not going to, the colours aren't going to be that vibrant because, you know, it's not sticking either. I'm going to put a little bit, tiny bit of the soap that we used. I'm going to put a little bit there. I'm going to use it almost like glue. So I'm going to put a bit there like this. Because remember, this has to dry out as well before you can use it. There you go, that's sticky now. It has to dry out for 24 hours and then we'll test it as soap. And then next up, I could do some tissue. We're going to do, oh, we need room for your mouth, don't we? Okay. And then we're going to take a bit of the white. So this is the white. I'm trying to not stain it. And a little bit in the middle. And there you go, there's our eye. Like this, press it down, and then of course we need a little bit of the black, just a small amount, but it's quite difficult to make a tiny amount of these because you're using the marshmallow. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I think that's the eye. And let's give him, we've got lots of leftover soap clay actually. Let's give him a mouth. I don't know if I want to do the arms. I don't think arms and legs are going to stay on this number block. We could
Let me help.
Put a bit more of the soap on, like as a sort of glue. And finally, I think we just need some teeth, don't we? I don't think I'm going to do the arms and legs because I think they would easily fall off. So let's give him some teeth. Make sure you're near a sink when you're doing these because you need to keep washing your hands. It's quite sticky and yeah, messy. So this is our Numberblock 1 soap. Let's let this dry for 24 hours and then we'll see if it lathers up like normal soap. Okay guys, this is my soap and I've left it for 24 hours, so now it's completely dry. And it doesn't look very vivid red and it looks a bit crumbly, but we're going to see if it works. I'm going to add a bit of water and see if it lathers. And that means...
Can I help with you too?
Well, I'm just lathering this up. Like this.
That smells of that. I can smell it.
The eye's bleeding a bit. Well, not bleeding, but the colour's bleeding a bit. So let me try and do it here, you guys. So yeah, it feels so... I can't see bubbles.
I can smell it.
You can smell it, right?
It smells.
But it feels kind of creamy in my hand. So I'm going to... Let's try the pen. I've got a pen and I'm going to scribble on my hand like this. I'm going to see if the soap actually works. If I do this... My hand's got a bit pink. But... I think that works. Look, it's taken most of the pen off, so it does work as a soap. Can you see, guys? So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you get a chance, make your own Numberblock soap. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.